A new season brings new opportunity. And this one-of-a-kind tournament with a star-studded group of contenders is where the fun begins for the LPGA Tour. It's been a week filled with excitement from both professionals and celebrities alike. Two sets of sisters, a fan favorite, a Canadian prodigy, country music artists, Hall of Famers, and a tennis star make up a strong group of competitors. But today is Championship Sunday, and with a field like this, anything can happen. Here in Orlando at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. In association with the LPGA Tour, is proud to present the season-long race to the CME Globe. Today it's live final round coverage of the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions presented by IOA. What a fitting place to begin the season for the world's most successful women's sports organization, the LPGA Tour, its 70th anniversary season, here in style at the Four Seasons, where it has been loud and rowdy on the 18th tee with stars like Larry the Cable Guy and soap hunk Jack Wagner, having some fun with the fans. And a Hall of Fame member trying to add to her resume. Grant Boone, Major Champion Karen Stupples, Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, Damon Hack. We get you out to the 13th, Tom.
MB Park, third shot. Jerry's watching.
49 yards, needs to spin. That other ball next to the hole is Sei Young Kim, who hit a beautiful sandwich to maybe 4 feet.
That one not as close for MB Park. Certainly not the guaranteed birdie. Let's go to the 16th.
And one of the faces of the LPGA Tour, 24-year-old Lexi Thompson, native Floridian, needs something special in the last 3 holes. Second shot at this short par 4, Karen.
And this is a great opportunity and one that she really needs to take advantage of. Just a wedge in your hands. And quite glad that that spinning back a bit will leave her an uphill putt, but that's got to stop.
She's got a par 5 coming up next, and then a tough closing hole, the long par 3, 18th. Still a chance for Lexi to get her 12th career title. Here is our leader, young Nasa Hataoka. It's not a guaranteed 2-putt. Tough to judge the speed from over on that side. Talked about the stars from the various worlds of sports and entertainment. Here is Josh Donaldson. It's already been a great week for Josh. Signed a 4-year, $92 million contract with the Minnesota Twins earlier this week. And what a way to cap it off that would have been. Haven't had a birdie at 18 all day. We still almost didn't a moment ago. 13.
John Smoltz, powerful guy, able to get to the 13th in 2. This is for Eagle.
A 3-wood and a smooth hybrid to that point. What a great putt there.
Let's let our featured group introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm MB Park. I'm from Seoul, South Korea. I've won 2016 Rio Olympics gold medal. I have dog named Rio. Hi, this is Sei Young Kim. I'm from Seoul, South Korea. I win 2019 CME Tour Championship.
Hi, I'm John Smoltz from Alpharetta, Georgia, former Major League Baseball player, and proud to say that I qualified for the U.S. Senior Open.
Now back out to that final group, and MB Park with a tricky putt to read here, Jerry.
She was aided a little bit by John Smoltz's putt and rolled right past, not far from her mark. His eagle putt, she saw it turning right the whole way. Still a little bit downhill. But she reads him so much better than most.
known as one of the best putters in the game, Inbee Park, but the putter has let her down a little bit over the last few seasons. She's been working hard to get it going. Needs to get it going. She's one back right now.
3 back with 3 to play. Lexi Thompson for birdie at 16.
And you have to think, Grant, that at some point putts like this have to start to go in if she wants to get her hands on the trophy.
She'll need something like an eagle birdie finish to even have a chance. She's won in 7 consecutive years. That's the longest streak on the LPGA Tour. Our leader, Nasa Hataoka, turned 21 last Monday. 3 wins already to her credit. And her most recent victory, Karen, she played in the final group at the Kia Classic in Carlsbad last March. And who did she beat in that final pairing? Inbee Park came from behind to beat her.
We've also seen Nasa miss a number of short putts as well, so that's going to be a test for her.
Still 7 or 8 players with a legitimate chance to win this. 15.
Gabby Lopez straight up the green here, straight up the hill at 15 for birdie. Good try. Gabby, a couple of shots back, a winner in 2018. At the Blue Blay event in China. She will defend her title because that event has moved to the springtime. It's coming up in about a month and a half.
This is the first of 33 official money events in this 70th anniversary season for the LPGA Tour. And of course, the Olympics is coming up in Nasa's home country of Japan. Had a 3-putt for par back at the par 5 10th about an hour ago. She's got this to avoid another 3-putt at 14 and to stay in front by 1.
Not an easy putt, Grant. This is going to move a little bit to the right, and it's going to have the feeling that it might want to break more than it actually does. So she has to be careful not to leave this on the high side.
Nakajima played a long time in the Japan and PGA Tour and said she is toughest when the situation is the most significant. Welcome to Four Seasons Golf and Sports Club Orlando here. Karen, it's the first event of 33 in the 2020 LPGA Tour season, and yet, though we're here in January, we have our eye on August and the Olympic Games in Tokyo, and we have the defending gold medalist in Inbee Park in contention and the woman who wants to take that gold medal from her in her own country of Japan, Nasa Hataoka.
I mean, it's quite the matchup already at the start of the season. Inbee Park, yes, she wants to go to Tokyo. That's the whole reason why she's playing so early. She wants to represent Korea again and have a chance to defend her title. But Nasa, she's very proud of obviously being from Japan and having a chance to play in her home country and to try and get a gold medal on her own right. That would be huge, and quite frankly, I'm not so sure there's going to be a bigger golf tournament than the women's golf tournament that's going to happen in Japan. It's going to be massive.
Inbee Park has won 19 times. She's been #1 in the world for more than 100 weeks off and on throughout her brilliant Hall of Fame LPGA career, and yet she's in the midst of her longest victory drought since between her first and second victories from 2008 back to 2012, Karen.
I know, and that's quite the surprise, because you wouldn't expect that from Inbee, because she's such a solid competitor and performer. She just, you know, in all fairness, she doesn't have her best stuff today, though, so she's going to have to dig deep coming down the stretch.
John Smoltz is leading the celebrity division. Jerry, you've had a chance to see him a lot. How impressed are you with his golf game? We know what kind of pitcher he is.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. He's just striking it so well. His caddy and former catcher, Greg Olson, said this is the best he's seen him hit it in quite some time. He does it quickly as well. This one's hanging a little right with a 7-iron, though.
2 points for a par, 3 points for a birdie, so it looks good for John Smoltz. You even get a point for a bogey. Well, for 2 unbelievable nights, it's NHL All-Star Weekend live from St. Louis. Friday at 8 on NBCSN, the game's greatest players showcase their incredible skills and thrills. And Saturday at 8, it's the main event, the NHL All-Star Game, live on NBC. Se-Young Kim with a 3-putt bogey at 12, bounce back with a birdie at 13. She is 2 back as she tees it up at 14.
And going with 6-iron for the 3rd straight day. The wind is blowing in a different direction. First time they've played this hole dead into the wind. She hits a very low spin dead ball. This one's pulled a little bit though.
Se-Young Kim made a putt about 200 miles from here in Naples to end the 2019 season. The richest first prize in women's golf history, $1.5 million. A walk-off to win by 1 at the CME Group Tour Championship to 17.
Here's a man who played 19 seasons in the NBA, Ray Allen. Oh, yes! Makes it look easy. Let's get back to 14.
He had an eagle there yesterday, didn't he? Here is NB Park, 1 back.
6-iron as well for NB. It's the first shot she didn't, or miss that she didn't miss left. Not going to hurt her though.
She had a putt for a 4-shot lead on 18 yesterday. 3-putted. The lead was 2, and now suddenly NB Park is 1 back. Let's take a look at this hospitality moment. Brought to you by Diamond Resorts. Well, on Tuesday night, it was quite the scene over at Mystic Dunes. Colt Ford got us started. And it was rocking. And then the nightcap. Oh, yeah. Boys to men, still great. It is hard to say goodbye to yesterday. They are still great. Our hospitality moment brought to you by Diamond Resorts.
I mean, that was one of the hospitality moments. There was a party on Thursday and
Every
on
day,
Saturday here.
Yeah.
So every day.
Had a good tee shot at 15. There's a big auction and concert last night, which is sort of the finale of the social scene here. Country singer Jake Owen played concert last night. He was supposed to play in the celebrity division, but I believe that he is injured for golf. Not sure what his injury is, but he's pretty disappointed that he couldn't play. I know he loves to play the game.
Good buddy of Jordan Spieth's, Jake Owen. They play in each other's foundation events. Here is John Smoltz at 14.
Up and over a little hill, turning left. Green slopes gently away from him on that top level. Has to be a little careful. Not what he wanted.
And again, 2 points for a par and even 1 point for a bogey. Looks good for John Smoltz, who had the celebrity title wrapped up before he even got to 18. You can't lose points on a hole. Double bogey or worse, 0. NB Park has a putt to tie the lead.
Similar in length, different line for NB. This one a little less break to the left and rather slow, all things considered.
Well, NB would dearly love to defend her 2016 gold medal in Rio at the Olympic Games this summer, but just getting to Tokyo may be as difficult as winning again.
I gotta say, I need to probably win 1 or 2 at least to make the team this year before probably, June, around that time. Korean team is not the easiest team to make. So, I mean, even though you're top 15 in the world, you're not gonna make the team. You're not guaranteed. So, I mean, there is no guarantee for anything. So I'm just trying to, play well, and playing well always helps to make the team. So I'm just trying to play my best, and hopefully that will give me an opportunity to go another time.
Typically understated is NB Park. Yeah, the Korean team is not easy to make. The qualification period goes to the end of June in the KPMG Women's PGA. A max of 4 players per country, provided you're within the top 15 in the world rankings. Jerry just calmly walks that one in. John Smoltz with a 2-point par. Short par 4, 16th. Gabby Lopez 2 back.
easy to do from the pine straw. Played a very aggressive tee shot, trying to get it down there close to the green, and she still lifted herself with a great birdie attempt.
She, from Mexico, has a chance to get within one.
Flag today all the way at the back left of this green. It's an aggressive play by Nasser and over into the longer grass. It's going to be a tricky up and down.
Very tricky. Fast, down the hill.
Here is Mexico's Gabby Lopez. Her idol is Lorena Ochoa, who stepped away from the LPGA Tour 10 years ago this year. Gabby played at the University of Arkansas, a college star, now a winner on the LPGA Tour, this to get within one. Lopez wearing colors of her native Mexico. And she is one back with two to play. Monday, more of the very best return for another shot at greatness, including a voice you'll never forget. America's Got Talent, the champions, Monday on NBC. 15.
He's got a comfortable lead in the celebrity division, does John Smoltz. As you can see, 9 points. You've got to look really at how many holes the players have played. So with them through 14, that gives you a good indication of the way things stand. And he's being pretty conservative, clubbing back off the tee once again, Jerry.
Yeah, I understand why. This is really the most intimidating tee shot on the golf course. But with his lead, it makes it a little more comfortable knowing you can't lose points. That started off well, right, with a little draw.
That's his stock shot. He likes to start things down the right side and get it to move to the left. It's pretty impressive that he's able to repeat it so consistently.
Okay, third shot for Lexi, and this really does need to go in. She's not able to get the ball on the green in two. Going with the putter here, what do you make of that? That is a long way off the green, and she's got to rise up to the green from there.
It is, but it would have been very difficult for her to have played a lob shot from down at the bottom there. There's so little green to work with, and she obviously felt fairly comfortable that that was the right choice. I know she had to hit it fairly hard, but it's a consistent play that, as a player, when you play a practice round, where you would have put yourself in that spot and practiced that just for that eventuality.
And one of the most aggressive players on the LPGA Tour, Brooke Henderson, trying to drive the par 4 16th. Needs to. She's 3 back with 3 to play.
Oh, look at this.
And that aggression pays off. Henderson will have a putt for eagle to get within one. 9 times a winner already. The winningest Canadian player, male or female, on any of the major tours. 15.
Inbee Park.
Hasn't driven it as straight today as we're accustomed to seeing. Thought she might take that a little bit up the right side, but no, that hugged the left on the initial line.
No problem there for Inbee. There may be some problems though as we go up to the green for Nasser. Tricky one. Delicate. And has played it very well indeed. Almost perfect. Really nice touch. So she will have that to remain in front by 1 here in the first event of the LPGA season. Back on the 15th hole for a really nice up and down. Nasser Hataoka to remain 1 ahead. Started today 3 back in 2 of her 3 wins to qualify for the Tournament of Champions. She was behind to start the day, so that's something she's used to doing, taking down top players to win. Thompson now for a birdie at 17. Good up and down. That gets her to 11 under. And I think she's going to need, well, she's going to need at least a birdie on 18, which is a very difficult hole. Let's go back to 15 and the second shot for Inbee Park.
7-iron for NB, very little wind now. Ideal conditions. 156 yards. Get up.
Yeah, below the hole. Great looking birdie there.
I think NB's been a bit flat so far through the course of the day. Like, she hasn't really got anything going. I think this is the perfect time right now for her to go ahead and live herself below the hole, little aggressive putt, stamp her name back at the top.
John Smoltz has stamped his name at the top of the celebrity leaderboard, second to 15.
Just a pitching wedge from 128. Little gentle draw, right of the hole. Good shot.
Nice shot there from John. And while we have a moment, let's go down to Damon Hack with a special figure here this week.
Indeed, the CEO of Diamond Resorts is Mike Klasky. Mike, this is the second year of this tournament in this incarnation. What are you most pleased with?
Well, Damon, I'm really pleased with the crowds and the interaction between the LPGA players and the celebrities. It's really proved the theory and the vision that golf needs more fun. And our theory was, we looked at what they did in Tahoe, and we said, if we can bring an element of professional golf and marry it up with this, it can be special. And we've had record crowds. Television ratings said last year that people loved it, the viewers loved it. So we're very pleased with all that.
It's a big party. What have you done to get the celebrities and the players to really buy into what you wanted to see?
Yeah, well, they have a great time. It's all about experiences. And when they come here, from the celebrities to the fans to the LPGA players, they're having an experience of a lifetime. And at Diamond Resorts, that's really what we focus on. What we want to do, and the way we've differentiated ourselves from our competitors in our space, is we're not just pure real estate. We're an experience-based company. And this is our kickoff the year event of a lifetime. And we'll go on and do 3,000 of these unique events around the country.
Appreciate your time, Mike.
Hey, thanks, Damon. Great to see you.
All right, Damon, Mike, thanks. Mike, thanks for what you've done for the LPGA Tour. What a great way to begin the year with a winners-only event. And thanks to Michael Milthorpe, Joe Angelino, and our golf course superintendent. After a rainy December, Rusty Wilson has got this course in great shape.
It's the final round of the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions, the opening event for the LPGA Tour in 2020. And Imby Park, who led the way coming into today, has this for a birdie and this to tie the lead, Jerry.
Yeah, and a great look at it here. Maybe just moving a little left. Her caddy, Brad Beecher, just came and checked with me to get an update on the leaderboard, so he knows how important this is, and she doesn't know the exact scores, but she can sense the moment.
Another one misses. And we will go to 16.
Brooke Henderson's eagle attempt raced past. The 6-footer coming back for birdie to keep hope alive to win. Two back with 2 to play, but one of those is a par 5 where she's already had quite a bit of success this week, the 17.
Yep, she almost holed out for a double eagle and walked off with a very easy eagle in the second round.
15 again.
Celebrity side of things, John Smoltz is rolling along very well indeed, and he's got this for birdie.
And there he goes with that stand-up putter.
Well, I talked to him yesterday about why does he alternate between lining it up with his caddy and then putting the putter behind. We don't always see him do it, as he just misses that. And he said it's all to do with how much wind there is. If it's too windy, I can't leave the putter standing up behind the ball because it'll just blow over. So as long as it's not breezy, I do that. But if it's too windy, he brings in the caddy to try and figure out the line.
All right, so it's a 9-point lead for Smoltz, and Marty Fish, he might need to make one of these here. This is the drivable 16th. We'll check it out with our TrackMan Tracer technology, presented by NEC.
I don't think he needs to get all of this. He had plenty of
How about
power.
that? And also just kind of throw it into the upslope.
That helped.
Take some steam off of it. He's got that for eagle, which would be 5 points.
Imby Park's knocked it past the hole. Anything above the hole can be a little speedy here. So this one needs some concentration.
Yeah, and those viewers who were with us yesterday saw her do something very inexplicable, which was miss one of a similar distance on the final hole for her first bogey of the tournament. Doesn't happen often.
Imby says that she looks very calm, but underneath there are nerves, just like everybody else. She's one back.
It's tied with Sam Snead for the most PGA Tour titles of all time. Nasa Hataoka turned 21 last Monday, and she leads by 1 with a second shot here at the short 16th.
And quite a conservative play for her off the tee, laid back quite nicely to have a good number into this flag.
Will that stay?
Oh, I think that's quite lucky.
Ooh. We've seen players try to drive this 16th, including Brooke Henderson, who did successfully. We're at the par 3 18th, where on 3 of the 4 days.
And if it has to take the break that way.
I have to take my medicine right now. Okay. I can't make it any bigger.
I got you.
3 of the 4 days, there have been no birdies by.
If I don't hit it hard enough here, it goes right.
I feel you.
No LPGA birdies. 3 of the 4 days here at 18. And as we pull back, you're going to see just what she has in front of her and why she said she needs to take her medicine.
Well, and that's, you know, quite as much as a player hates to do that, because ultimately, you know, when you're as good a player as Lexi Thompson is, you feel like you could pull off just about any shot that's put in front of you. So for her to say, I just have to take my medicine, that's a bitter pill to swallow, because you don't want to have to. You want to try and fight it and try and make something happen. But in many ways, with what she's got on her hands here, though, there's a huge break, huge slope down to the hole, and I don't think that she feels like she can win at this point. She's not. No, I think right now she's, as I look through the leaderboard, she's 11 under. Nasa is 13. She knows that 17 is a reachable par 5 for her. I think she's trying to play a little bit conservative, a little bit sensible. But she also knows, I mean, don't forget, this is just the first tournament of the year. She's going to roll into next week's event, hopefully with some good momentum from here.
Putter from some 100 feet away.
Go.
This 18th has bedeviled her, as it has just about everybody this week. So that was her last chance to have even an outside shot, with 12 under having already been posted by MJ Herr. Here's our final group at the 16th and NB Park, 1 back.
Just laying up here, other 2 members of our group, Smoltz and Se Young Kim, are waiting for the green to clear. This will be just fine.
So NB Park currently on the outside looking in. The defending gold medalist from the Olympic Games in Rio when golf returned to the Olympics. Jin Young Ko, world #1, Sung Yun Park there. A max of 4 players if you're in the top 15 in the world rankings. So she's got to first get into the top 15, and then she's got to climb over at least a couple of players here.
It's a tough ask when you think about how well Se Young Kim's playing, Jin Young Ko, Sung Hyun Park. I mean, my goodness, that's a serious list.
This is Gabby Lopez's 4th shot at 17. She hit another poor pitch shot. Hit another heavy one with her 3rd. She did it on the 13th, and it's going to cost her a chance to birdie both of the par 5s and the back 9. How costly that's going to be for Gabby Lopez.
In the next to last group here on this Sunday at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions, Nasa Hataoka, leading by 1, has this for birdie at 16. I think if you'd have told Nasa 3 years ago, as she was struggling through her rookie season as an 18-year-old, that she would be an LPGA Tour champion, a chance to win a Tournament of Champions, she might not have believed you.
No, it was such a turnaround too. Just all of her stats were way better in that second season on tour. Her greens in regulation stat, her driving stat, she increased both by about 10% at least.
Well, the nerves are there for the LPGA players, but so many great memories made this week. Who doesn't love a hug from Danielle Kang before she tees it up? Lady Cat Golf tweeted that. Damon says, thanks, Chad Pfeiffer, our wounded warrior hero. Chance to visit earlier. It's time for our celebrity interview, brought to you by Diamond Resorts. And here is Damon Hack.
With country music star Cole Swindell. Cole, what do you appreciate the most about competing alongside LPGA pros?
Just how good they are, man, and how hard this game is. It's something I love to do. I grew up playing, but they show me every round why I write songs and sing them.
This week gets bigger and bigger every year, from the concerts to the music to the golf. What's your favorite aspect of the Diamond Resorts?
I mean, like I said, I think just being a part of, like I said, I'm a huge golf fan. This is a LPGA tournament. You got the winners of last year here competing. Then also, I mean, I grew up a huge sports fan, music fan, and I mean, there's, you know, a lot. I'm playing with Tom Glavine today. Come on, that was one of my childhood heroes, and it's been one of the funnest rounds I've had so far.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank y'all.
Damon and Cole, thanks. Our celebrity interview brought to you by Diamond Resorts. All right, Marty Fish made birdie, picked up 3 points, playing there with NASA, and as you see, this is what she has left for par.
Did miss a short one earlier today.
Yeah, at the 10th hole.
But she's also made a couple of really good ones just recently as well.
She was 3 back when the day started. She now leads it by 1 with 2 holes to play. Our final group has had a couple of players wait, as Jerry said, to tee off. We're going to look at John Smoltz's tee shot here with our TrackMan Tracer technology presented by NEC.
He checked with his caddy and former catcher Greg Olson, who gave him the signal to bring the heat here. Doesn't need to, but why not? That looked to be on a pretty good line. It was not leaking right. Lost it in the gray skies.
Remember, the worst you can do is no points, double bogey or worse. So why not let it rip with a big lead? The rules officials are circling. That looked rather ominous. Say Young Kim. Maybe as underrated, Jerry, not by us who watch her, but maybe around the golf world as anyone in the world, male or female.
It could be 306 to the front, which is out of reach for Say Young, but if she gets it on a good line, just carries that bunker, can catch a down slope. Oh, that one's pulled a little.
All right, a second shot coming up at that par 4. At the 18th, Lexi Thompson. 11 career victories, just 24 years of age. And a bit of a victim of her own success when she's such a prodigious talent who has done so much. We tend sometimes to wonder, could it be more?
Well, and that's the question you face with Lexi, just because she does have that ability, and you know that when she's firing on all cylinders, she's one of those players that she's just really hard to beat, primarily because she does have so much power.
17.
NASA on the tee at the par 5.
Very consistent with the little hop that she takes before walking into the ball, just a way for her to focus her mind towards the target and to get herself ready. That's always part of her pre-shot routine.
That one's safely away. As NASA has won 3 times over the last 2 years. This is what she's trying to get her hands on to begin the 2020 season.
This is for every girl who's ever been laughed at or told she doesn't belong.
This is for every girl who's been told she's too loud, too quiet, too this or too that.
This is for every girl who thinks her body isn't good enough. This is for every girl who's been told to give up.
This is us crushing it for you. So you can crush it for the next girl.
Just a moment ago at the par 4 16th, NB Park second shot.
Needed to get this one close from 77 yards down breeze. Got it on a good line.
Should stay there. Mini false front up there. So that for birdie and a share of the lead. NASA is playing the par 5 17th as we speak, and now John Smoltz.
Lie is too tight to try and loft this comfortably, so playing a little bump into the hill. Hill didn't take enough off it.
Oh, no. It's still moving.
All right, we're going to pause for a moment here at the Four Seasons Orlando and send it to our U.S. Bank Sports Report.
I do believe that Smoltz has a bit of an advantage when he's playing against some of these other celebrities, in that he's played in the US Senior Open, which he qualified for, and he's played in 3 PGA Tour Champions events as well. So he's had more professional experience in big tournaments than your average celebrity here.
NB Park for a share of the lead.
Needs this one badly. There's no chance she'll get to 17 and 2 into the wind today.
One of the best putters in LPGA Tour history buries one at the 16th, and she has tied Nasa Hataoka. 6 times she has led the LPGA Tour in putts per green in regulation. By comparison, Brad Faxon and Jordan Spieth have led the PGA Tour 3 times each. Incredible. 17.
Henderson missed the green with her second shot, but has this for birdie at 17. It's important. That's 2 birdies in a row. She's at 12 under. If she can somehow find a birdie at 18, that would set a pretty stiff target in the clubhouse, considering how difficult we know that 18th hole can play. A layup here for Nasser at 17. On a fairway out to the right. She looks a bit concerned though. Shouldn't be. It's in the short grass. We will go back to that short 16th hole.
Last year, John Smoltz had the celebrity title wrapped up before he got to the 18th. This is a putt for a 2-point par.
That's more than likely going to be the exact same scenario today. Might possibly be wrapped up before he gets to the 17th green today. It might not.
You get 1 point for a bogey, so you don't just quick putt this one. We are reminded that there are no gimmies out here. The LPGA players make it look so easy. So do the PGA Tour guys. And here's a better than scratch golfer. 3 putting from 20 feet. Tough. Just a moment ago at the par 3 18th, Gabby Lopez 1 off the lead.
Hole location is on the left side, close to the penalty area.
Oh, wow. Could that be our first birdie by an LPGA player on the weekend here at 18? Many of golf's greatest female amateurs take on historic Augusta National Golf Club for the 2nd annual Augusta National Women's Amateur, coming this April on NBC. Well, MJ Hurd and her husband Kevin Wang, I don't think they thought they would be watching anxiously when they teed off this morning. She was 9 back when the day started behind NB Park. It's not just 9 back, but it was in B you were trailing, and she shot an 8 under par 63, matching the low round of the week, and she is not out of it yet.
I feel like this shot could be crucial for NASA here this week. If she can get the ball up and down, get it to 14 under par, that will knock out the chances of Gabby Lopez, and you would think Brooke Henderson
has to carry a little tear in the green.
It's a little too strong, and it's not going to be a guaranteed birdie here. Of course, 18th does separate players because it's so tricky. So going to that 18th tee is no guarantee you're going to walk away with a par, and that always adds a level of excitement coming down the stretch. Maybe not for the players that are actually having to play, but for the folks watching like you and I.
It's a well-designed golf course for that, because you have the excitement of the 17th where players could potentially make an eagle, probably a birdie, and then they have to turn it around and go to the 18th where they're just kind of holding on, especially if it's really tight. It's just not a bargain of a shot on 18.
How about TrackMan Trace technology presented by NEC? And Inbee Park has not missed a fairway today, Jerry, and this one's fairly generous.
Okay. I've seen a couple that were in the first cut, but no big deal. This one is hard to miss. But it is back into a lighter breeze. Still going to be a 3-shot hole for NB.
Yeah, no problem there for Inbee.
Gabby Lopez to post 13 under. Maybe. Gabby Lopez. Vamos. She has the first birdie of the weekend. And the pride of Mexico by way of the University of Arkansas has set a new target as we head to the 17th.
What an amazing birdie at 18. Smoltz now on the tee at 17.
At this point last year, he made it interesting, hitting it right down by the lake. Today, I think he wants to end it at a little more comfort, and that's a really good start.
Number 8 points for a hole-in-one, and the last is a par 3, so that does add something to think about for the celebrities. As we take a look at the top of the leaderboard, Gabby Lopez with a round of 66 with a birdie at 18, and of course Inbee Park making the birdie at 16 to get to 13 under. Alongside Nasa Hataoku has a long birdie putt at the 17th to come, but Gabby Lopez, one of the best putts of her short career. Could it be enough to get into a playoff or maybe win?
Nicely struck up the right center of the fairway.
It's just going to run out of fairway. Oh no, on the short grass by an inch. Up on the green. A putt for Nasa Hataoka to get to 14 under and a solo lead. Trying to ease it down there and ease it just by the hole. It's going to be a 5. And she will go to the 18th tied for the lead, and that is where we go now.
And Brooke Henderson needs birdie to tie Gabby Lopez in the house. Hangs her head in frustration.
Next on the tee box, she is a 2019
We have seen harder shots hole. That'll be tough. Tied for the lead with Inbee Park when the weekend began. Struggled yesterday, but as usual, Brooke Henderson making a late charge.
This is Marty Fish for a birdie at the 17th. Remember, he's 7 points behind. So this would be for 3 points, putting 4 back. Smoltz is still going to play this 17th. Oh, you got to hit it, Marty. That's like knocking one into the net. The plumb forehand. Oh dear. Well, it's not quite over yet because you've got that hole-in-one, 8 points and a par 3. to finish, but that was a big missed opportunity for the Davis Cup captain. Now, Se-Young Kim, is she going to have a go in two here, Jerry?
She is, and a good thing she waited for the green to clear because the breeze died a little bit in the process. I don't think she could have gotten it there otherwise. 209 to the front, all carry to the elevated green into the breeze. 230 to the hole. She has to just hit this as solid as ever. But the good news is she does hit such a low spin ball that it won't get eaten up too badly by the wind. Just cuts right through it.
Two back. Oh,
Stay
doesn't
there.
like it.
She just hooked it a little. It looks like it's plenty.
There's a slope there, and it's going to stay up about flag high, maybe just short of flag high.
It's just off the green. It's almost finished.
That was pounded.
Yeah. Now, Smoltz just needs to get it safely aboard here.
217 yards with his hybrid. Shaft's an inch long. He loves this club. Couple extra waggles here.
Did he bail out?
Yeah, he wasn't solidly struck either. But not bad. It's going to be dry.
Yeah. B Park not wasting any time. She's scampered up to her third shot.
A little bit of a downhill lie, 99 yards. Slight breeze from the right. Can't feel it where she's at, but she knows what she needs to do.
Oh no, didn't like the strike. And that's going to run down onto the lower part of the green. Not a guaranteed two-putt from down there for MB Park. A big mistake for the LPGA Hall of Fame member, who is tied for the lead here. That's how things stand at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions.
Thirteen under is the clubhouse lead, and this was a moment ago must make for Brooke. She would go on to make par, finish at 12 under. Great start to the year for the 22-year-old Canadian. Got the DJ at the 18th tee. That's where we find one of our three co-leaders, Nasa Hataoka. Gabby Lopez just made the first birdie of the weekend and the fifth of the week at the 18th by a professional.
Well, then we've just seen there that little graphic pop up at the bottom of our screen. NASA has not been very good on the par threes. Her scoring on them has been where it's let her down slightly. So this is a big tee shot for NASA coming up here. You can use the slope of the green, so you can aim away from the trouble, use the slope to get the ball to roll closer to the hole. Wow.
Clutch.
Didn't need to use the slope.
Nasa Hataoka, just 21 years old and a week, has that putt to take the outright lead. 17.
Se-Young Kim's third at the par 5. This was just a moment ago.
It's a lot of green to work with, but it's just a tough angle. Has to basically land it right there on the spine of that rail. Oh, this is going to be good.
This could be terrific. Could it be perfect? It'll be a tap-in birdie for Se-Young Kim, and that will move her to 12 under par, one back. MB Park has some work to do coming up the slope here. It's about the speed and getting it over the hill with the right speed. But if anybody's got the touch on the greens, it's MB Park. It's not too bad at all. Gabby Lopez in the house at 13 under par.
Thank you.
There's an area as the players come out of the scoring tents where they can meet some of the fans and pose for pictures and for autographs. This will be to guarantee the win for John Smoltz, because it would put him 9 points ahead. And of course, the most that Marty Fish can do on the 18th is 8 points. So it's obviously not over until all the cards have been signed. But Smoltz now has a 9-point lead, and he is on the way to victory here at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions.
All right, just one hole to play, and it is a three-way tie for the lead. Gabby Lopez is done. Nasa Hataoka on 18, putting for birdie, and NB Park has our Outback Bold round of the day. This was at the par 4 8th hole. It was her first birdie of the day. And then at 16, trailing by 1. Not anymore. That tied her with Nasa Hataoka, our Outback Bold round of the day. NB looking for her 20th career victory. It would tie her with Christy Kerr, the American, for the most among full-time active LPGA players. And for the player of the decade in the 2010s, it would be quite a way to begin the 2020s.
It would. I mean, she's just been such a consistent performer. She went through some injuries back in 2016, just before the Olympic Games, and she's really overcome a lot of that. She's reached the absolute top of the mountain with regards LPGA golf. She's in the LPGA Hall of Fame, the major champions that she's won, the player of the year. You know, she's been there and done it, and to be able to come back from that once you've reached those heights and reset new goals, to go through that whole process again, it's all credit to her for being disciplined enough to be able to do that.
She is tied for 7th in LPGA history with 7 major wins, and of course the Olympic gold in 2016, just a couple of months after she became the youngest ever to qualify for the LPGA Hall of Fame. So here is a 3-point birdie attempt for Marty Fish. Fish will have that for par and 2 points. So you have this juxtaposition of celebrities and LPGA players. Gabby Lopez just waiting. There was a previous iteration which you played in on the LPGA Tour of a Tournament of Champions, and Lorena Ochoa won it back in 2006, her idol. Nasa Hataoka has a putt for birdie, trying to match what Gabby Lopez did. Nasa said she wants to win the U.S. Women's Open and the gold medal in the Tokyo Olympics. She's from Japan. She said, I feel like with the Olympics being in Tokyo in 2020, it almost feels like destiny. She is in line to make it for the Japan contingent. She is lining up this putt to give her the lead and put the pressure squarely on NB Park. Story has been told many times. Her mother named her NASA after the U.S. Space Agency. She wanted her to shoot for the stars, to aim high. She's got a chance to take the lead on a Hall of Fame superstar, NB Park, right here.
She is not scared of the moment.
Well, a 3 is a great score at 18. It's the toughest hole on the course, has been statistically all week. Will she feel like she let one get away there?
I think so. But what she should do is to prepare for the potential that she still might have to go out into a playoff. NB Park will have an opportunity to win outright on this 18th hole with a birdie. But right now, Nasa is tied with Gabi Lopez and Imbi.
All right, there is a Mastercraft X-Star, the ultimate in wake and surf performance, awaiting a hole-in-one by a professional or a celebrity here at the 18th. They have 3 more chances. Se-Young Kim has a history of walk-off hole-outs. Did it to beat Inbee Park back in her rookie year of 2015. She needs birdie to tie the clubhouse leaders.
That's a hybrid, and that's at the very left edge. This has to get really lucky.
And her chances
Next on the tee box.
at the bottom of that lake at 18. Even were she to hole it, it would only be a par.
With over 200 wins and 150 saves, please welcome Hall of Famer John Smoltz.
Well, Jerry, he began his career as a starter, finished as a closer. This is not a save situation. He's already wrapped it up.
5-iron for John. He still wants to hit a quality shot here, and he has. Safely out to the right. Might just catch the slope.
Next on the tee box, 19 LPGA Tour victories, including 7 majors, and won a gold medal at the 2016 Rio Olympics. Please welcome Inbee Park.
Born in Korea, moved to Florida at the age of 12, and has set record after record in her brilliant Hall of Fame career. She's tied for the lead.
Stood on the tee in this party atmosphere and watched Nasa miss her birdie putt. Knows exactly what's going on. This is a 5-wood. And that's a really aggressive line left of the flagstick.
Wow. She'll have that putt for a walk-off victory. Inbee Park, the last chance to get to 14 under when we come back. You've got the celebrity champ there, John Smoltz, and perhaps the LPGA champion, Inbee Park. She's got a putt to win it from just off the green to the 18th. Gabi Lopez birdied the 18th to get a share of the lead. Let's take a look at some of how Gabi did it. It was a mixed bag on the back nine in terms of ball striking for Gabi. This is at the 12th.
It was. She had a couple of sort of iffy wedges, but she was able to mix those in with some really tremendous shots, just like that.
And a really tough second shot at the par 4 16th from the pine straw. To this point, buried it for birdie. That took her to 12 under. And then at the 18th, where there had only been 4 birdies all week, all of them on Friday, none on the weekend by LPGA players until this. Gave her the clubhouse lead. Nasa Hataoka tied her at 13 under, and now the native of Mexico from the University of Arkansas is waiting to see if she has more golf ahead of her. When she won her only title at the end of 2018, she stared down then #1 Ariya Jutanugarn over the weekend that she turned 25 years old. She's now 26, and to win her second career event. Here's the scene of the 18th. We've had a little wind this week. We've had a few spits of rain, and it is quite a scene. It's been quite the party atmosphere these last couple of years as Diamond Resorts has partnered with the LPGA Tour to bring back the Tournament of Champions. And what a champion we're seeing here at Inbee Park, looking to win her 20th title.
20th title seems too few really for what she's achieved, and she always seems to fly under everybody's radar. She's so sort of unassuming as a champion because she's so consistent, she's so steady. There's no real fireworks. She just gets the ball in play, gives herself opportunities, and over the years she's been so deadly with this putter.
All right, Jerry, what do you see here?
Well, interestingly enough, they had to wait for Se-Young Kim to get a rules official a tee to see if she had to replay it. And while they were doing it, they replayed Gabby Lopez's putt as the highlight, as you guys did, on the Jumbotron. Brad stood there and watched exactly what it did. That could be a little bit of a help because the angle's not that different. But it is speedy. She hit a great 5-wood to here. I remember yesterday. It resulted after that great 3-wood in a 3-putt.
There's the Jumbotron of which Jerry spoke. Yeah, 24 hours ago, as Jerry said, she had a putt for a 4-shot lead. Instead, she 3-putted.
John Smoltz walking up the fairway, he just said, I can't believe how she plays golf. It's just nearly flawless. I had to remind him that this is one of her poorer putting performances too.
Yeah. For the win. Not going to get there. Well, we're going to go overtime. In the first event of the season. NB has that left to join Lopez and Hataoka. Se-Young Kim has a putt for bogey here, Jerry.
She does. She did have to re-tee it, and as is always the case, you wish you could have done it the first time because this would then be a putt to tie.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Jerry, it's always disappointing when you do that. When you're trying so hard, you put yourself in a position, you just overcook that one into the trouble. But she's an aggressive player by nature. She wasn't going to go anywhere but try and attack that flag.
At the CME Tour Championship last year, she had such a horrible putting day on the back 9 and was stepping away from the putts, got up over the one on 18. Paul came in to help her, and she said, I got it. And he goes, I knew she was going to make it. And wasted no time, made a putt for a cool $1.5 million. So this is just another week right now for Se-Young.
She'll have a birthday on Tuesday. Se-Young Kim already with 10 victories. In 5 seasons, she'll turn 27 in a couple of days. Well, Jerry, John Smoltz knows a thing or two about extending dominance and going back-to-back, part of those great Braves teams of the early and mid-90s and early 2000s.
I don't think Greg Olson's going to jump in his arms as he did when they completed the worst to first division clinching game in 1991. One of the most enduring images from that season, but nice battery back together again.
The closer, John Smoltz, plays with a lead all weekend and gets it done for a second straight year. The celebrity champion here at the Diamond Resorts, and now a couple of feet to join a playoff for NB Park. Even par 71. Began the day with a 2-shot lead. Was behind for a good portion of the day. And so Mexico's Gabby Lopez, Japan's Nasa Hataoka. They are both in line currently to make the Olympics in NASA's native Japan. And they're joined by Korea's In-B Park, the defending gold medalist. So In-B looking for career victory number 20 would tie Christy Kerr and the great Dame Laura Davies. Lopez looking for her second win, NASA her fourth. And John Smoltz one better than last year, 149 points, 150.
Wow, he's just very impressive all round with his performance.
And let's hear from him with Jerry.
Impressive, a 3-under round indeed. Last year en route to victory, you made it look a little interesting down the stretch. I would say maybe you closed like a starter. Today you started like a closer. How important is it to you, because you look so focused out there today, to bring your best?
Yeah, I made some changes that really worked. Tried not to stare at too many pins, get aggressive when I could. But, you know, last year helped me a lot. Just there was a little bit of unknown last year being in the last group and not with any other competitors. So I learned from last year on how to stay patient and not be too carried away with what they're doing. So this is pretty cool. I became a grandfather last year, about a year and a half ago. So my grandson, who's about 16 months old, only knows. He said, you got to go win a second one. So this is for him, John Allen.
That's hilarious. And he only knows you as a golfer and an analyst as well. Your caddy and friend and catcher, Greg Olson, said he hadn't seen you hit it this good in a long time. Is this some of your best?
Yeah, I've been working on some things, you know, physically trying to figure out what I can do with my body. And, you know, this was a good week for me to test what the rest of the year is going to be like. And my schedule's not great, but, you know, you don't learn anything until you play in tournaments like this. And last year taught me a lot, and there seemed like a long time between Tahoe and now. But I just want to see how good I can get my golf game. And I know intermittently it's going to be hard because I have to do a job that I want to do well and play golf when I can.
Starting pitchers are known for having a lot of time to play golf and play it well. Analysts don't get as much free time. What does the rest of your summer look like competitively?
Yeah, I'm hoping to play in a couple Champion Tours events. I'm going to try to qualify again for the Senior Open. And then, of course, Tahoe, you know, right before the All-Star game. So I'm excited about tournaments. It's just whether or not I could fit them in. Both the MLB Network and Fox has been awesome letting me get out of some games. And so this will be fun, and we'll see what happens.
All right, congratulations yet again.
Thank you.
All right, he was awfully impressive again this year. This was at the 7th, par 5. Used to play a lot with Tiger Woods. Said he doesn't have that kind of power that he used to back in those days, but he's become a better overall player.
Well, and that's often the case, that the more you play these tournaments, that the more you learn from every experience that you have. Because he's a late starter in competitive golf, we're just starting to see him blossom into learning what he can actually do on the golf course and what his potential is.
Just pouring them in from everywhere, and this was to clinch it. This is not easy.
No, and he made it look so simple. He took it all in his stride. He didn't overthink things and just played a comfortable shot.
That would lead to his 6th birdie of the day, a tap-in par, the tough 18th. He shoots 3 under par 68 and 39 total points to wrap it up for a 2nd straight title. And we are headed right back to the tee at the 18th for Lopez, Park, and Hataoka to settle the first tournament of 2020. We have a 3-way playoff. The Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. Gabby Lopez finished first, Nasa Hataoka second, and In-B Park. They will head back to the 18th. Grant Boone, Karen Stupples, you've won a major championship. You've been in these big moments, playoffs. It's difficult to try to pick a winner. And when you see where they finished, Gabby's been done for, what, about 30 minutes or so?
She has, and she finished so strong too. That birdie on the 18th was just really impressive. In-B Park really hasn't had her best stuff today. She's been a little bit sporadic with her distance control, with her wedges, but the shot that she played on the 18th there with the 5-wood was again aggressive and pretty impressive. impressive as well. Nasa, she's been consistent today. She's had some pretty good shots, and again produced a good shot on that 18th hole. The key is to stand on that 18th tee with all this pressure on top of your shoulders and just try and just pick a target and just hit your target and try and block out everything else.
For those of you who play this game for a living, wins are like currency. You love the money and it cashes, but wins are currency, and especially to beat an elite field like this, what would it mean?
Well, I mean, it's just so impressive because all these players are winners. Everybody that's here is playing here has won on the LPGA Tour, so they all know how to get the job done. But to have somebody like Inbee Park, who's in the LPGA Hall of Fame, standing on that tee to be in the playoff with them, future stars of the game in Nasa Hataoka, big star in Japan, but also we're just starting to see her come into her own on the LPGA Tour. And Gabby Lopez, could she be another Lorena Ochoa? This is just the beginning of her career. Who knows where this could land for those players?
All three of them want to be in Tokyo at the Olympics come August, and of course 5 major championships, beginning with the A&A Inspiration, April 2nd through the 5th at Mission Hills in the desert. The U.S. Women's Open in Houston, Texas. Champions Golf Club, Jong In-lee 6, the defending champ. Hannah Green won the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. It goes to Aronimink near Philly. This summer, back to the Evian Championship, where Jin Young Ko won her 2nd major of 2019. And then we'll never forget Inako Shibuno, the smiling Cinderella. Just the 2nd time she'd ever played outside of her native Japan. She won it last year in Woburn. They'll head to Troon in August, right after the Olympics, in fact. Well, all 3 players in the playoff hit tremendous shots on the 18th in regulation. They'll have to try to do it again. Only Lopez made birdie. In fact, she was the only LPGA player to make birdie on the weekend at the 18th. Look at the leaderboard. Korea, Mexico, Japan in the playoff. Canada, the U.S., France there in the top 10. You think about the founders, the 13 founders, Karen, on whose shoulders you and so many others have stood through the years. What they've created, spectacular, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's one of the reasons why you look at the LPGA Tour and how successful it is, because you're seeing the very best of women's golf from around the world playing on the LPGA Tour week in and week out. And you asked me earlier about Lexi Thompson and winning tournaments. It's difficult to win out here on the LPGA Tour because it is so deep in talent, and it isn't just because it's from one country, it's from everywhere.
Remember now, whoever wins this playoff becomes the first entrant into the 2022 Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. It's winners of the last 2 years, so the winner has that to look forward to, in addition to the first place check and the prestige of winning an elite event.
Pretty simple. We're just going to keep playing this hole until someone gives up. So we'll go for order of play. Gabby, you were in first, so Gabby.
Dan Maselli, rules official with the LPGA Tour.
Hall of Famer, you get whatever's left, okay? First. Second, like that, just like that. All right. Good luck, everybody. Play well.
Cheers, Dan.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, so Gabby Lopez is going to try to match what she did, Jerry, in regulation.
Indeed, with a 4. It looks like a 4 hybrid in her hands, which is, I believe, the club she hit earlier, according to our spotter out here. A little less wind than there was just a half hour ago. A little less daylight as well.
El viento está de la derecha hacia la izquierda, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces es que nos complementamos. Y ahora ¿vale? Venga, venga. Ese es tu tiro, vale. El mismo tiro que llevas pegando, visualízalo. 5,
1. First career playoff, as you see, for Gabby Lopez, the 8th for Inbee Park, and the 3rd for Nasa. No scar tissue to worry about for Gabby, first time.
And technically such a good golf swing. Positions are almost ideal all the way throughout it. Got it nicely. Really good line.
Too much.
A little bit of adrenaline, I think.
And the wind shifted. It's now downwind from the right. It hasn't been that way. And it just picked up right when she struck it.
So there you go. 5 birdies this week at 18. 2 of them from Gabby, including in regulation today.
Same target out there too, right?
Nasa has been in a couple of playoffs, one of them in a major, the KPMG Women's PGA with So-Yeon Yu and the eventual champion Sunghyun Park. Also lost a playoff to Arya Jatanagarn at Kingsmill, so no slouches, the players to whom she lost.
No, but Jerry followed her in that playoff at Kingsmill, and I think you were quite impressed, even though she lost, in the way that she handled herself, Jerry.
Yeah, up against titans of the game at the time. Absolutely. She proved a lot that day that she belonged on this stage and she belonged in the winner's circle, and it wasn't long after that she proved it. This is a 4 hybrid. This 2 nicely struck just a little right of the hole.
Two outstanding shots at the 18th for Nasa. Missed the birdie putt in regulation. She'll have a birdie putt here. 3 and 4, her career record. We're seeing that on the screen, Jerry, and it's about the only thing she hasn't done exceptionally well. Those playoffs, it took 8 holes for Pernilla Lindbergh to beat her at the A&A.
5 wood here. I tell you what, standing back on this tee, looking ahead at that little target, having to pull a head cover off and hitting the shots they've been hitting, that is impressive. This one a little more in the air than regulation. Also a really good line just right of the hole.
Let's see if it comes back down any. 2 on the green, 1 over. Nasa Hataoka began the day 3 shots behind NB Park. This was at the 8th to get to 11 under. At this point, she was tied for the lead, and then her second at the 12th.
Just play for position off the tee. You can see she's just really staring this one down. She likes it from the moment it left the club face.
She hit 3 putted for par back at the par 5 10th. She would make that for birdie, and then this delicate 3rd shot at the 13th.
And it had to be so delicate too. It's slippery, downhill, down grain, even a bit of downwind in it too. So to get that touch, mightily impressive.
That gave her the lead with 5 holes to play. She parred the last 5. Had a great look at birdie in regulation here at the 18th. Missed it a little left, and she's got another chance here. Think what it would mean for each of them. For NB Park, her 20th career victory, and it would also move her into the top 15 in the world rankings and move her closer to her goal of making back to the Olympic competition, where she won the gold medal in Rio back in 2016, named her dog Rio after that gold medal in 2016. For Nasa, a chance to beat NB for a 2nd time in the last year. And for Gabby Lopez, who dreamed of being an Olympic gymnast when she was a youngster growing up in Mexico, trying to make it to another Olympic Games to represent her country.
I don't think we can really emphasize enough how huge the Olympics have been for golf, in that all of these players started playing golf without ever really thinking that being part of the Olympics was going to be in their future. They didn't really think that that was going to happen, and all of a sudden now golf is part of that, and here we are with these players having that dream of being on the podium, hearing their national anthem, wearing the gold medal around their necks.
Let's see the situation up here with Gabby's ball beyond the 18th.
A lot of media gathered around behind the screen, and evidently Gabby was informed that one of them may have stepped on the ball, so we're going to wait for rules official.
Okay, as if the situation wasn't quite knuckly enough.
Well, she's not going to have to play it if they stood on her ball. She'll get to
Donna Mummert making her way up here. If you know, I think it's if you know exactly where the ball was, you replace it.
You replace it, yeah.
And if not, you drop it as near as you think to that spot.
How would you describe the rough back there where she is, Jerry?
Well, it's into the grain, and then I just realized there's going to be another ruling here. She doesn't have a backswing. Not enough of one, I don't think. So she'll get TIO, temporary immovable obstruction relief from the grandstand netting.
Okay. Do you have the information about it?
Right here. We saw it.
Okay, no problem. It's okay, no problem. Okay. How far did it? Do you know how far it moved?
It moved about 6 inches. We were watching it.
Yeah.
It came this way about 6 inches.
So everything back in here?
I would say that's fair.
I love being involved in.
Yep. And then
Yo prefiero ahí porque está como más
you can
fácil.
go to the box. Yeah. Okay. Does anywhere in there? Can I just? Can I clean it? Yep.
She asked if she could clean it. The answer was yes.
Basically, anytime you pick up the ball, other than marking it for a fellow competitor when not on the green, you are allowed to clean it. Most often change it if you wanted to.
Second year of the knee-high drop.
Thank you.
That's a drop circle. It's, even though it is closer to the hole than where the ball originally laid, that is a local rule, and it just essentially speeds up play.
Even though she's only dropping it from knee high, it still looked like that nestled down a little bit in the grass, Jerry.
Yeah, that's that overseeded rye. It's not a very mature grass, very shallow root system for hitting a full shot out of, but it's very sticky when you're hitting a shot with little or no acceleration or club head speed. You almost always have to open up the face a little bit and play a little bit more of a lofted shot, a little bit of a bunker style shot. That can happen quite easily. Not bad.
She clearly didn't strike it exactly how she wanted, right?
No, as Jerry was describing, that grass is really sticky, difficult to judge the correct contact on it. It rolled out probably more than we were all expecting, but it's still going to leave her a little bit of a challenge of a putt.
So we have NASA and NB with birdie putts. NASA first here, Jerry?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Very similar to what we saw with NB a little earlier, but not with NASA. It is quick, really quick. It fooled NB, not quite as quick as she thought earlier.
has that habit of putting the ball on either side of the coin after initially marking it.
But she replaces it at the spot from which she lifted it every time. A lot of times you put it, it might be a superstition, an idiosyncrasy, or sometimes just a reference point when lining up the ball from the other side of the hole.
Is it meant to be as Nasa wraps it up? So she's in with par. That's the mark of Gabby Lopez. She'll have that for par. It seems too perfect, doesn't it? In the year 2020, Inbee Park looking for victory number 20. The stage is set. She's got this for the win.
That is a first in years of following her.
Never looked comfortable. Which is saying something for Inbee Park, who's looked more comfortable over a putt than anyone maybe in LPGA history. 2 in with par. Going to keep playing 18 until we have a winner. Now Gabby Lopez to keep it a 3-way playoff. See anything here?
Not much. That's a tricky little area of the green. I think you guys have witnessed it by how many putts have been missed today. Everything looks like it should fall toward the water, the left side of the green as you hit it from the tee, but it doesn't.
Up and down after the drop for Gabby Lopez. We're going back to the 18th. Hole number 2. Playoff hole number 2. We're right back at the par 3 18th. All 3 players, Park, Hataoka, and Lopez, made par. It's Lopez, Hataoka, and Park in that order.
El viento juega, ponte a la parte derecha del diamond, ¿vale? Vale. Visualiza el swing que estás haciendo.
Officially, Jerry, sunset a little before 6 p.m. How much light do you think there is?
I just asked one of the rules officials, and they don't like dealing in hypotheticals. I said, 2 more holes maybe? He said, let's just hope it's 1. Same club as the first time around, same wind as well. 4 hybrid.
And it was interesting, Jerry, her caddy, while she was getting ready to play that putt, he was on the green throwing up some blades of grass just to make sure of what that wind was doing.
She went long on the first one.
That's a good shot right of the hole. Could catch some slope. Not going to be long, I don't think.
To step up and keep hitting good shot after good shot. Remember, she took like a 30-minute layoff after she finished with a birdie in regulation, then waited for the other 2. Nasa next.
Same club here as well. 4 hybrid. This one well out to the right. Be lucky to catch the green at all.
Oof. Yeah, that was not well struck. Just it's going to be a bit of work for her to get up and down from there.
And be going with 5 wood. I can only think what we saw when she stepped away from that putt, likely because of nerves. There's a chance she might want this win more than just about any other one except that Olympic gold medal, just for the chance to get back there. Sounded good. Comfortably right of the hole. Looks like it has some heat on it, though.
This time it's Lopez and Park on the green, and Hataoka who will be scrambling. Well, golf returned to the Olympics in 2016. Weren't sure Inbee Park would even be able to go because she had been nursing a thumb injury all summer. Well, she went. Her entry already had enough points with wins, majors. So it was quite the summer. But this is, as Jerry said, to his point, it has been so long since she has won. For her, relatively speaking, a couple of years. She won in Phoenix. It's the second longest victory drought of her brilliant Hall of Fame career. NASA denied her at the Kia in Carlsbad, California last year in March. And NASA has some work to do here with her second shot short of the green. Three years ago as a rookie, Nasa Hataoka was struggling just to make cuts. She went home to her native Japan, won a couple of times on the Japan LPGA Tour, came back to one Q school to regain her card, and she hasn't looked back. She's moved to 6th in the world rankings.
I think it was a very big step for her as a rookie, as a young player from Japan, to come to a completely different country. She just had her agent with her, didn't have any other family. In the second year, she brought her mother over, and I think it was a much more comfortable situation for her to have more people around her that she knew. Having also played on the tour for a year already, she was more familiar with the surroundings, more familiar with the players, and I think just that added a level of comfort that allowed her to maximize her game potential.
What's the play here, Jerry?
This is going to be a pitch and run. She should comfortably be able to land it onto the putting surface. Greens are fast. They're not exactly soft, and it'll just be a matter of controlling your nerves and judging the distance, the touch. It's a clean lie, very good lie. Rather tight lie, but just enough cushion under it to not really make you shudder. Just miscarried it onto the putting surface by about 3 feet, and that made the difference. But still, decent shot at it.
Her reaction?
As a player, you in your mind, you pick out a spot where you want that ball to land. And more often than not, you're always trying to get it to land on the green and expect it to release from there. So she just missed her target, and a lot of the times when you come up short like that, there's a little bit more tension in the hands, and that's understandable. This is a playoff situation.
Birdie putts here for Lopez, but first Inbee Park.
A little different angle than the last time around. Slightly uphill initially. Did not waste any time getting over this one. Very confident with the read, or convincing herself to be.
That looked like a good stroke, didn't it? All right, so NB Park, the first playoff hole, had the stage cleared, couldn't make, and now the ball is in the hand of Gabby Lopez. She has a putt, the biggest victory of her young career.
The only professional birdie of the weekend, is that right, Grant? And now do it twice and win?
Yeah, she birdied it Friday as well. So 2 of the 5 birdies at the 18th this week off the putter of Gabby Lopez.
Well, it has been a drivable par 3 all week.
Yeah. It would appear we're going to play on. The question will be how many will keep playing. Nasa the farthest out. She'll go first for par.
Rules officials I just spoke to weren't sure there'd be enough light for one more hole. I think there is. The Jumbotron isn't yet the primary source of light for the green, which often cases it is in these situations.
Have the veteran caddy Gregor Johnston getting low to get an angle here.
She is one tough customer. Wouldn't surprise me at all to sum up the heart to put this one in.
You see the marks of the other 2 within 3 feet. Those will be for par. Nasa first for par. One of her mentors, Tommy Nakajima, says she plays calm on a big stage. The stage is huge, and she calmly rolls that one in. There's one par.
And B back to her normal routine now, barely looking it over, using her instincts to read it.
Move on. Can Lopez make it 3? Let's keep going. 3rd playoff hole coming up at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. 18th at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. Gabby Lopez, Nasa Hataoka, and NB Park. Pars for all 3, the first 2 go-rounds. Strikes me, Karen, that this whole location kind of favors pars. We've seen a couple of hole locations this week that brought bogey or worse into play.
No question about it. I think that even that this hole is the closest to the penalty area of the hole locations we've seen all week, it is probably the easiest one to hit the green with. So much green to the right of that flag.
Gabby going with one more club than she hit the last time around. This is her 3 hybrid. That's very high. It didn't sound all that solid. Right edge, right center.
A little closer than where NASA was on the second playoff hole.
I've seen a number of players sort of putt from that area. So she'll have to decide what she wants to do. And when this fading light, judging distance is starts to become an issue.
NASA hit the green the first time. Second playoff hole came up well short. Tremendous up and down to stay in it.
4 hybrid yet again. So clutch was that par putt. So impressive.
Familiar pre-shot routine.
This one almost the same line as the last time around. Well right.
Henderson was over in that area earlier. Not sure they can see it, the fading light.
No, you can't from the tee. You can't see where the ball comes to rest. And unfortunately, you can't see the Jumbotron from here either, to let you know. Wow, this is really aggressive. Left of the flagstick, left edge.
That doesn't end her chances, but it lessens them dramatically. All 3 have missed the green in this third playoff hole. And she'll have to re-tee, I believe, will she not?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that didn't cross up there based on my angle on it. It is a red penalty area where you can get 2 club lengths relief if it did. But the rules officials who are nearby immediately pointed to have to replay it.
Your heart just sinks when you see the ball take that bounce and splash.
Well, she's trying to make a 3.
Is that her pitch mark a foot from the hole?
Wow.
A foot and a half?
Okay, fans, we got somebody else for you here that's going to entertain you.
She is going to need to pitch that in to have any hope.
37-time NASCAR winner.
That was her pitch mark. Incredible. After re-teeing when her first tee shot found the water. All right, we've got FIS World Cup alpine skiing action from Italy coming up next. We're on the 3rd playoff hole at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions, the first of 33 official money events on the LPGA Tour. You've got a Hall of Fame inductee waiting to be inducted still. She's qualified for it already in B Park, but she has found the water, and after her second tee shot, she's lying 3 just beyond the green, and the other 2 competitors, Hataoka and Lopez, will have second shots from in front of the green. So if Indy were to hold her shot and Hataoka and Lopez don't get up and down, she could stay in it. Certainly her hopes took a splash in the 18th. whether you've won 19 times or won like Gabby Lopez, every win is tough.
Yeah, the backswing on the first shot just looked a little shorter, and I think that she was trying to make something happen.
We probably, it's impossible to say, but I'm not sure we would even be playing extra holes had NB not 3-putted the 18th hole yesterday. She had a 3-shot lead, a chance to make it 4 with a birdie putt, slid it past, and missed the comeback.
Well, and I think all day it just hasn't been NB's day. She was only able to shoot a level par round of golf today, and really she had opportunities, but distance control with her wedges wasn't as good as it had been in previous rounds, and I think that she just wasn't firing on all cylinders today.
Gabby Lopez was in the 4th to last group when the day began. She was 5 shots back when the day started. Made birdie here at 18 to get to 13 under. Post that number. Nasa tied her. All 3 of these players have had putts to end this tournament.
Remember yesterday, too, Gabby had a 2-shot penalty for a lost ball when they found her ball 2 or 3 seconds after the new rules changed the 3-minute time limit.
Yeah.
She, I think, has proved a lot to herself today.
And to make up for lost time here. You have a sense of the speed on this putt?
Well, it's a little bit into the terrain early. But the hole pretty flat. But the greens are still very fast. They picked up speed every single day. Looks to be really good speed.
That will likely knock out NB Park. If the tap in for Lopez, NB can do no better than bogey. That's a 1.5 foot, maybe. Gonna finish.
Yep, don't blame her. Leave no doubt. Yep, I've got my part.
So we're down to 2. Lopez in with par. Park has been eliminated. NB Park falls to 3 and 5 in playoffs in her indescribably great career. And in terms of getting this up and down, Jerry, what would you say for Nasa here?
I'm sorry?
In terms of getting it up and down, the odds, the chances.
But as tough as she is, 95%. Good. Yeah, it's not a tough shot. There's a little contour to deal with where it goes downhill and turns left early and might even actually pick up speed, but other than that, it's just getting the touch right.
I think it's important, Jerry, that she actually walked onto the green to see those contours, because when you're standing by the ball, when it gets darker like it is out there, everything kind of looks a little flatter. So to actually walk up and stand on those areas kind of really helps, I think, sort of get a good feel in your head and in your hands where you need this to go.
She makes clean contact off this little downhill line. It shouldn't be far from the hole.
Good call. That to force a 4th playoff hole, and with only 2 competitors, could we play one more? We're about to find out. You stand over 100 of these, don't you, in practice? One even longer than this, one after the other.
I was going to say, I don't think he practices putt too often. It's too short.
We go to a fourth playoff hole. When will we go? Inbee Park has been eliminated. And her 20th LPGA Tour title will have to wait. Shared the lead through 36 holes. 2-shot lead coming into the day today. While we have a moment, down to Jerry Foltz.
Gracious enough of Inbee to stop by for a quick comment. Inbee, how badly did you want this one? I know it's going to sting, but how badly did you want it?
I think just number 18 got me yesterday and today. I didn't think that was that bad of a shot, but it just tailed a little bit at the end. So, I mean, today's round itself, it was just a little bit disappointing. I, didn't hit many shots close or, made a lot of putts. So, yeah, if I shoot on the par, I should have won. But, yeah, that's golf.
You have nothing left to accomplish in this game, but yeah, you have a huge goal to get back on the toughest Olympic team for which to qualify, the Korean women's Olympic golf team. Does this help your confidence moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, this is only my first event back for 2020, and I have, played good golf this week. Just not great today, but, it has been great for the last 3 days, and, I definitely feel a lot of confidence after, playing this week, so I think it's going to be good.
We look forward to the rest of the year covering you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Jerry.
First time she's played in January in 4 years. She wants to be in Tokyo for those Olympic Games, and this will go a long way. She'll move up in the world rankings, which we'll see tomorrow updated. And it looks like they're headed back to the 18th. They are indeed, for a fourth playoff hole. Maybe the difference in 2 versus 3 will allow us to get this in. There is a point at which it becomes unfair to the competitors, doesn't it? I'm not saying we're there, but there is a point.
Well, there is, in that with the way that the darkness is starting to descend upon the course, and the players, I mean, we don't know. I mean, they're both fairly young. I'm assuming that their eyesight's pretty good, but some people do see things differently as the daylight fades, and it does become difficult. Judging, like I said, judging the distances is hard. Getting a good visual on the flag is hard.
Por la derecha del que el viento está derecha izquierda. Nosotros la ponemos ahí a la derecha.
Well, they have brought out a few lights here. Jerry mentioned the Jumbotron giving us some illumination. Obviously, they want to finish tonight. The next event is down the road in Boca Raton.
Grant, I'm up at the green after talking to Inbee, and I can barely make out that is Gabby teeing off right now.
Similar kind of look to the one we've seen before from Gabby.
Talking about a 197-yard shot in the dark, essentially. And she has found the green and put the pressure on NASA. Craig Johnston, NASA's caddy.
Yeah, he's definitely the oldest person standing on that back there.
Maybe combined.
Yeah.
NASA and Gabby. Gabby's 26. NASA turned 21 last Monday. Creeping toward the front edge of the green. Could be a moon landing for NASA here in the dark. Tee shot found the water. Nasa Hataoka, 21 years old, from Japan. She'll putt from just off the green. Gabby Lopez, 26-year-old from Mexico, played collegiately at the University of Arkansas. She's on the green with a birdie putt coming. NASA with a putter.
Yeah, I have to assume this is the last go around. Now NASA's line here, she knows already. Her 2 previous chip and pitch shots rolled on a very similar path, so she should know the line. She obviously had the speed down on that last chip shot. You never know.
I just think it's just so difficult now when it's starting to get so dark out. Judging the speed, Jerry.
Yeah, they did turn on those massive lights just to the right of the green, but that's whole locations on the other side. You couldn't get the lights over there. It's 90 feet away.
Very good, very good. Almost the carbon copy of what Gabby did last time round.
So, Gabby Lopez, again, will have a putt to win the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. Nasa will finish this for par. She's made 5 pars in the last hour at the toughest hole on the course. Once again, Gabby Lopez has the opportunity to end this Tournament of Champions.
And has to be reading this putt from memory. And this is actually one point where that Aim Point Express I would recommend, because she does it, she believes in it, and you cannot see the slope nearly as well right now as you can probably feel it with your feet. But she's had similar putts already in the last hour.
Normally you'd say that's good. In the dark, with the tournament on the line, we'll see.
She gave it a good run, that first putt, though.
Yeah.
It was a good stroke, good roll.
Not trying to cozy it up, was she?
One thing's for sure, she wasn't worried about this return putt.
And we play on. But when? Selly, I think, is going to ask if she wants to keep going. What'd you do?
I struggle to see in the dark. It would be very hard for me to do it, but...
Well, it is 2020.
Good for these. Good for the players.
So they can see clearly enough here.
While they go back for the 4th playoff hole, we've got a special guest.
Make it the 5th playoff hole.
I think if you're Gabby, you do go back and play it, because she's been playing this hole so well, particularly today. She's hit tremendous shots into the green. She's the only player of these two to have had a birdie on this hole. So.
All right, one more hole, right? Birdie right here.
Trying to think of the tournaments where it's been the darkest. Tiger had an epic shot in the dark at Firestone to finish off a victory at a World Golf Championship. Here in Orlando years ago, Jeff Maggard, I mean a lot of years, this is like before Gabby Lopez and Nasa were born. They brought lights out to the tournament here. Jeff Maggard may have won. Valhalla PGA Championship, Rory at sunset. Look at Ricky and Phil let him play on. And John Smoltz, the celebrity champ, he's like, I didn't need overtime. Just finish it in regulation. Mike Flasky with a microphone. CEO of Diamond Resorts. You don't want to rush this by any means.
No reason to. Can't get a whole lot darker, but to be quite honest, every single person who's gotten to this level has played in this kind of darkness. When they were kids, they've been on the putting green till well past dark, dreaming of putts to win an LPGA event. And now they're playing from memory on this hole. 3 hybrid again. Much higher than the previous two. Pretty similar line.
Yeah. On the dance floor again.
So it's the 6th time she's played it in the last hour or so. She's hit the green 4 out of 6. Well above the field average. I think she'll like it when she can finally see it. Alvaro Alonso, our caddy. Trying to get a look. Now Nasa.
I'm sure it's the same hybrid again. Very similar line, maybe just a little left of Gabby's. What's some draw?
Oh, this is perfect, isn't it? When she's at the playoff. That's fitting, isn't it?
Yep.
Playoff hole number 5. We are now in the longest playoff since the 2018 ANA Inspiration when Pernilla Lindbergh held off NB Park on a Monday morning. They went deep into the night. There in Rancho Mirage, Jennifer Song was eliminated on the 3rd playoff hole. NB was eliminated on the 3rd playoff hole. Here, we're down to Nasa Hataoka and Gabby Lopez. Each has birdie putts here on the 5th playoff hole. This par 3 18th.
Well, even if you aren't a player who putts with the flag stick in, I would suggest it now, just for any kind of depth perception.
Completely agree, Jerry. And even, you know, Greg's got this in his hands now. I've put that in there pretty quickly.
Or at least attend it.
Yeah. I think really at this point, though, Jerry, advantage has to go to Gabby because she's going to get a chance to watch Nasa's putt.
Yeah, no question. If she can see it. She's about 30 yards away, but standing right down the line. Well, just off to the side of the line, but a great view of it is Gabby.
Greg Johnson's trying to point out a spot to aim. Not sure she can even see him very well.
The ball's going to roll down this very similar line to where she putted from, just in front of the green, just about 10 or 15 minutes ago.
get there.
We'll see if Gabby wants her to mark it or move it. There's Gabby in the background.
Oh yeah, she definitely wants to get a good look at the line.
And for a third time, Gabby Lopez has a chance to end the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions.
Nasa could have easily walked up and gone through the paces and finished, but she didn't, marked it, and then had to move the mark one to the right.
Pressure of trying to win, plus the inability to see clearly. Not sure who's out here.
I think it looks like Gabby.
Did Nasa remark or not?
She moved it back.
Okay, she moved it back.
Yeah, primarily because I think Nasa would be standing in or very near Gabby's line if she were to finish first, but I think Gabby might be a couple inches away. They're both no more than, well, this one could be just outside of 2 feet, certainly not 3.
No trouble. Six pars after the birdie in regulation that got her to 13 under. Fans want. Dan Maselli, LPGA rules official. They had the option, correct?
I think they do, yes.
Of saying no or yes.
It's really dark out there.
I think we are done. All right, Jerry, what can you tell us?
They are done for the day, and they're going to be back at 8 o'clock in the morning. That was the unanimous decision of the players.
Okay. They'll come back tomorrow for a 6th playoff hole. Nasa Hataoka and Gabby Lopez.
Good morning from the Four Seasons Golf and Sports Club Orlando and our continuing coverage of the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions, this playoff between Nasa Hataoka and Gabby Lopez. 5 holes, not enough to separate these two players yesterday. Remember, there were 3 players originally. Imby Park eliminated on the 3rd playoff hole yesterday. I'm Tom Abbott alongside Karen Stupples in the booth, and Jerry Foltz is down there for us on this par 3 18th hole to call the action. He's a little bit chilly this morning because the temperature has dipped significantly from what it was yesterday. So let's go down to Jerry.
And Dan Maselli on the tee, getting things going.
All right, ladies, good luck.
Good luck. Thank you. Good luck.
Jerry, how different is it this morning than it was yesterday? I know it's a lot chillier, but how's the shot playing?
Well, a little less wind, but what wind there is almost straight down. Yesterday it was from the right, a lot chillier, and you kind of have to get to the left side of the tee box where Gabby is so that the sun, which is rising, we never thought we'd be covering this hole with the sun reflecting off the water, rising in the east, is a little bit out of the corner of your eye, and it's a really tough visual. So she took the left side of the tee to get the spectator tent to block her eyesight. Now she gets a clear view of it. This is a 3 hybrid. NASA has a 4 hybrid. That's out to the right center of the green if it gets to it.
Safely aboard.
Solid.
That's exactly where you thought the players would be aiming the whole time today, isn't it, Karen?
It is. I just didn't think they would try and go too far at it, particularly with this temperature change. There's just really getting a feel for how far the shots are going. This is the first shot they've played all day, bar the range balls, and you just don't know what the temperature change will do to the distance it carries. So the safe play is definitely to the right.
Now NASA in her 3rd playoff on the LPGA Tour. One of them was in a major championship, the KPMG Women's PGA. She was eliminated on the first playoff hole. Sun Hyun Park would eventually go on to be the champion back in 2018.
That's a little further out to the right. Probably going to catch that fairway cut of grass.
Well, that was a popular spot during tournament play. But some work to do for Nasa Hataoka, and Gabby Lopez will have a putt for a birdie on that 18th hole. Good morning. Welcome inside our booth. What a change from yesterday evening when the temperatures were in the 70s as darkness descended this morning. It's in the 40s, but we're off and running once again. Hole number 6.
I know, and I'm not really surprised. I mean, the level of competition that these players displayed yesterday going around the golf course, it always seemed very tight. Inbee Park just couldn't seem to get the putter going yesterday, and it really opened a door for other players to come on in. Gabby Lopez had a great round of golf yesterday. She shot 5 under par and really put herself in a great position with a tremendous birdie on this final hole. I think one of only 2 birdies. She made 2 birdies out of all of the 5 birdies that were made on that hole by the professionals all week. So she's pretty good on that 18th hole.
Yeah, incredible record for Gabby Lopez. Talk about what a win would do for both of these players.
Well, I think if you look at NASA, she's a player that has 3 wins to her credit already. She's a player that's a rising star in Japan. Japanese golf in general, on the women's side, is really taking off right now. And I think she wants to cement her position as the #1 player for Japan, particularly going into the Olympics in her home country. And I think that's something that she's very proud of, and that's something that she really wants to be, the #1 player in Japan with a chance to win a gold medal. So that's where she is. And when you think about Gabby Lopez, she does have 1 win, but she's a player that has a lot of potential. And we've all seen it just even from when she was playing college golf at Arkansas. You know, she's one of those players that has everything right there. She's very strategically well placed with the way she plays. Technically, she's very sound. She likes to think her way around the golf course. She keeps, very detailed statistics on her game. And I think that a win here would just solidify in her mind, I wasn't just a 1-win player. I can do it again and again and again. And I think players from Mexico are looking for another Lorena Ochoa.
Absolutely, Lorena. 10 years now she's been retired from competitive golf. Remember, there was a celebrity element to the Diamond Resorts. That finished up yesterday with John Smoltz winning. Ben Higgins from The Bachelor was here playing. What a week, playing alongside the world's best, he says. He thanks Diamond Resorts and the LPGA. And, of course, the LPGA players loved playing alongside the celebrities, many of them sportsmen from the worlds of baseball, football, NBA, hockey. Angela, a big fan of those sports, and she talks about that in her social media post, how excited she was to play alongside some of the people that she had watched growing up and still loves to watch as she travels around the ballparks of the U.S. She loves watching baseball. And now Nasa with a shot, Jerry, that we've seen many times during the week, but this is under different circumstances.
It is. It's a very, very tight lie. She's familiar with this shot. Not this length, though. She had a little chip shot from off the edge on the similar line yesterday and putted one from nearly the same spot. Green in general slopes gently toward her, but the first bounce is going to be a little left. You just need to make clean contact. If you do that, it should be pretty decent.
That's a lovely touch. What a shot. So she will have that for par 3. Of course, Gabby Lopez still has a putt for a birdie. Gabby said yesterday, you just can't imagine how happy I am to be in this position. She said that this is exactly what I'm working for. So in her mind, I suppose, she's achieved a great deal already. I mean, Nasa Hataoka has won 3 times. She's one of the best players out here. Gabby not quite in that category. She takes a lot away from this, even if she were to not get the victory.
Well, there's a progression, and every experience that you have on the golf course is a learning curve. And when you put yourself in this position to be in a playoff, and you learn from what you're feeling, what you're going through on the golf course, it's something that you can take forward to the next time, and something you can hang your hat on.
All right, Jerry, what did she face here?
Well, she had this putt a couple of times last night, or similar ones. I think she leads of the 3 competitors who started the playoff originally as the one who had the most putts to win, but nobody made any of them. This turns a little left early, then not much at the end. I can tell you that when they were out to dinner and thinking about today, last night, and this morning, you play all these putts in your head because each player has putted from basically every angle on the screen now, having played it 6 times to the exact same hole location, this being the 7th.
This to win.
Got left early.
Just ran out of speed, but it is going to be at 3, and now the pressure will go back onto the shoulders of Nasa Hataoka. Shouldn't be an issue, but in these circumstances, nothing is easy under this kind of pressure.
I was just thinking of that, Tom and Kara. They're going to be frazzled heading into this coming week. Having to play this playoff, that many holes of the playoff, and having to play it on a hole where you're nervous, even if it's just a practice route hitting this tee shot. Like we said all day yesterday, she has a lot of heart and a lot of guts. Just so tough is Nasa.
Well, you were witness to that in her other playoff that she had. Even though she didn't win, she performed remarkably.
And Kingsmill, when she went toe-to-toe, was an unproven entity. And I think she proved to herself, obviously to us, but to herself, she could do it.
Yeah, no problem. And we're going back to the tee for a 7th playoff hole. So let's take you back to how this story unfolded, to the final round yesterday, and Nasa Hataoka at the 13th hole, the par 5. What a lovely touch this was.
It was. Her caddy, Greg Johnson, said, look how shiny it is, just indicating to her that it was downgrade, downhill, and a little downwind too. Superb touch.
That would get her to 13 under par, which would be the magic number to get into the playoff. Disappointment for Inbee Park. She was battling to just get back into the frame, having had a tough start yesterday. That was all important at 16.
It was just one of the few putts that she made all day. Really struggled all day long with the putter.
And how important was this for Gabby Lopez on the 18th?
Oh, it was just huge. I mean, just a phenomenal shot from the tee shot just to get it there. And then to go ahead and finish it off like that.
2 of the 5 birdies this week on the 18th belonging to Gabby Lopez. The one on Sunday was vital. Inbee Park in the playoff, the 3rd playoff hole, and this would be her demise.
Yeah, backswing just looked just a bit shorter. Not quite the same rhythm. And splash.
Yeah, ricochet off the rocks. And they would continue on playing 5 playoff holes, but the decision was made that it was just too dark to continue. It is at the discretion of the players, with the advice of the rules officials, and they decided they did not want to continue, which it was disappointing at the time, but a sensible decision from these 2 players. There's a lot riding on this, obviously.
Well, the gallery that was around the green were all chanting, one more, one more. They wanted them to go again, but you're right. It really was a sensible decision, because you don't want to leave it to chance that you might be able to see the hole, you might be able to read the putt. It gets to be too important.
Yes, and the light, Jerry, last night was being altered significantly by the floodlights that they'd put up, and of course the jumbotron over on the left side, the big screen that was illuminating the other side of the green. So it was an odd light to be playing golf in.
Yeah, and based on how this thing's going, we might face that same situation again today.
Well, we're now into the 4th longest sudden death playoff on the LPGA Tour, tied with the 2004 LPGA Takafuji Classic, where Christy Kerr defeated So An-jon. The longest belonged to the 1972 Corpus Christi Open. Joanne Prentice defeated Sandra Palmer and Kathy Whitworth on the 10th extra hole.
Breeze picking up a little bit now, and she's taking the ball almost the full 2 club lengths behind the tee blocks.
What do you make of that?
She thinks it's going to go just a little bit farther this time. Same club.
Let's see if she's right.
Really good strike. Almost identical line.
Oh, might gather a bit more speed. More slope to come down.
And she's going to know that putt she just had.
Yes.
And it's almost an identical putt.
Well, and that, what we've just seen today, she had that same putt a couple of times yesterday too.
And how precise are these players that she took it just slightly further back on the tee box, and she was exactly right. It went the same distance.
Yep.
Now, NASA.
Tom, this entire playoff, there has not been an iron struck. It's pretty darn amazing.
Yeah, shows you the difficulty of this hole as well.
And the precision with which they play.
Yeah.
I lost that one in the sun. It looked to be all right.
It's going to trundle around, and this could get better. There's a lot of slope in that green. This one could be really good. Excellent. And the standard continues to impress here in this playoff at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. Gabby Lopez against Nasa Hataoka. Could it be over? Coming up at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. We're in the 7th playoff hole, and Gabby Lopez will be first to go with a putt that she just had a few minutes ago. Jerry, nothing much has changed with this one.
It's a few feet deeper into the green, Tom, and so that changes the initial contour. I don't think it swings quite as much left early as the first one did. It really turned left hard. You know, it just swings an inch or two early, and that makes a difference of a couple feet at the end on a putt of length. And this is a little shorter.
And she'll be thinking in her mind she's got to hold it. I mean, her competitor there has a great chance.
She does, and I mean, Nasser's in there. I mean, Jerry, how far away is Nasser from the hole, would you say?
10 feet, 12 feet,
Yeah.
maybe 15. I didn't get a great look at it. I was chatting.
There's a fine line, I think, if you're in Gabby's shoes. Obviously, you do want to make it, Tom, but you can't let it get away from you and put yourself under too much stress. I think you've got to be thinking, okay, I'm going to get this ball rolling down the right line, and imagine it sort of rolling a foot past the hole, or if it doesn't go in. But it is a great opportunity for Gabby. If she was to make this, I think all of a sudden Nasser's putt, instead of being 10 foot, all of a sudden it will look like it's nearer 20.
Well, she's made 2 birdies here in regulation. Can she make one in the playoff? Looks good. Is it enough? Yes, it is. A birdie for Gabby Lopez, but will it be good enough to win? She loves this par 3.
I mean, just magnificent, and what a time. I mean, that really does now. I mean, Nasser's putt, she hit a great shot in there, but all of a sudden, as I said, it's just made it exponentially more difficult now.
But as one of the best players in the world from this distance, you'd be expecting to hole it a great deal of times out of 10.
Well, particularly given that she is kind of fearless on the golf course, and she kind of enjoys these moments. So
she has proven her mettle many times, not only yesterday and today, but in her short career. Here's one more chance. Can you keep going to that well? It's turning just a little bit left, and it's a little bit downhill.
It wouldn't surprise me, Jerry.
Not one bit.
There's that routine where she places the ball behind the marker and then resets it. And obviously takes the marker away. Quite simply, this has to go in for Nasser Hataoka if she is to continue in this playoff and to have a chance of winning the first event of this season. No, it doesn't go. And this marathon playoff is over. Gabby Lopez is the champion of champions.
Just a tremendous performance on that 18th hole. I mean, literally, she dominated that 18th hole, and I think a very worthy winner.
Let's check in with the updated standings in the race to the CME Globe. As Gabby celebrates there on the 18th. So Gabby Lopez moves to the top. Nasser Hataoka and Imbi Park tied for second here, despite the fact that Imbi was eliminated sooner than Nasser. Brooke Henderson with a good week, and MJ Her with that final round of 63 puts her in a tie for fourth. So let's go down to Jerry now.
Thank you very much, Gabby. Only 6 birdies were made on this hole all week long from the professionals. You made 3 of them. Have you ever found yourself under more enduring pressure than you had in the last 24 hours?
I don't think so. You know, I was mentally prepared for this last 24 hours. Coming down the stretch yesterday, I knew I needed to birdie this hole to have a chance. I knew Imbi was a couple holes behind and she could birdie 17. She's a birdie machine as well. So I don't know, I was very lucky to have a good look at it, you know, above the hole, and I was lucky to make it.
You played from well behind coming into yesterday, and you end up with the victory. What did you prove to yourself?
You know, that I don't need to prove it to anyone else but myself. I proved to myself that I can win, you know, in any situation. My first win was in the lead. Now my second win was, you know, coming behind and being able to just put all those moments together and recoil them while I'm walking, you know, on the fairway here, and you know, trying to stay patient. I think that's what I proved to myself the most. It was my ability to stay in the moment.
Are you happy you don't have to see this hole again for another 52 weeks?
Not really. I mean, I do have a feeling for this hole. I like it. It was a perfect number for me. Yesterday, to be honest, I was hitting 4 hybrid, 3 hybrid, 4 hybrid. The wind was down, the wind was into, it got cold. So it was hard for me to kind of figure out the number. But this morning with my coach, Horacio, with my caddy, we kind of figured out the number with the TrackMan, and we knew it was a perfect number for me today.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So the winning putt for Gabby Lopez, you know, when she won her first event, 2018 at Blue Bay, she played in the final group with the then world number 1 and the world number 2. She took them down. Here, she survives 7 playoff holes to take down Nasa Hataoka. She has some guts, doesn't she, Gabby Lopez?
She does.
This is how it finishes at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions to kick off this 70th anniversary season on the LPGA Tour. And of course, we did have a celebrity element that didn't require a playoff to decide a winner. John Smoltz successfully defending his title in the celebrity division.